Okay, so I just beat Risen 2, so I thought I'd do a quick ending thoughts on it. I'm just like right at the end, it's basically the ending here. Because when you beat the game, you can't continue afterwards, which is a bit annoying, but a lot of games do that. So, thankfully I've got an earlier save than this, so I can go back if I want to do other stuff. It took me 24 hours to beat it. Pretty decent. Normally I beat games quite quickly. I don't know why. Like people say like, oh, this game's 30-40 hours long and I beat it 10 hours quicker than that. I don't know why. I do tons of side missions. And yeah. The game, it's very, you gotta have a lot of patience with it. Well, I'm not saying you gotta have a lot of patience, it's very odd to describe this game. It's really good, I'd say. When I first got it, I didn't really like it for the first hour, but it was only the first hour. I think it was because I was really tired when I first got it, so who knows. But then the game starts to get really good, like on the second island. The story, I don't really care for story in most of my games. The story wasn't great, it wasn't horrible or anything. But like the boss fights, the last boss fight's pretty easy, but a lot of games do that with RPGs. Because RPGs don't do boss fights that well. The combat is very, I like it a lot. Like, because this is my first playthrough, I didn't really know what I was doing, so it took me a while to get a lot of the combat stuff. But once you get the stuff, like you can do like heavy attacks, like block, kick, you can do dodge moves. I got a musket finally. I actually got it quite close to the end of the game. The muskets are pretty cool. The voodoo, I don't really care for. I don't want to spoil it for you, because I was going to do something then, but then it'd probably spoil it. Oh. I want to talk to you. No. Uh-oh. Go away. Oh no! What are you doing? Don't look right there. Well, so basically, that's the ending. But surely, if you're watching an end thoughts video, you shouldn't watch it. Because it's probably going to be spoilers in it, an end thoughts video. Because he just beat the game and he's thinking like the end. So I'll probably put like spoilers in the on the top thing, so you know, just in case. It might not be spoilers, but just in case, you know. Because I always don't like it when I get spoilers. I don't really hate it. It's just kind of annoying. But the combat's good. You get heavy attacks, dodge abilities, which are pretty cool. I never got the monkey or the parrot because I didn't really want it. Like a lot of the missions are really cool. The dialogue is really funny. There are a lot of like little, not bugs, glitches, but they're really funny. It's kind of the charm of the game. The game's quite, not rough around the edges, but it's got a lot of glitches and they're really funny, but it's what gives you its charm. It's really, like there's a lot of funny glitches. Not really glitches, there's some things that really are kind of, you know, is it kind of a glitch? But not really, but it's really the charm of it. It's really good. Pretty long, 24 hours, for me anyway. Normally I beat games quick. I mean, there are some really cool parts of this game that I don't want to spoil. I like the exploring a lot. The missions are cool. I got an achievement for 250 quests beat, so yeah. I was like, whoa, I didn't think I'd done that many. The voodoo is pretty funny when you control other people. So yeah, I actually like the way they did it. It's like 7 so small islands. I kind of like that, but I kind of wish maybe there was a bit more islands to, you know, contradict that. Because 7 islands, they are pretty small, but maybe it just seems smaller because there's, you know, they're dropped up into more islands. But they're still pretty cool. I still like the way they do it, kind of. So, you know, it's a pretty good game. I like it. Risen 1 is actually coming. I'm actually coming. Risen 1, I ordered it off of Amazon, and actually getting it for the Xbox and the PC, because I'm hopefully gonna get a PC soon, game PC. So also I'd kind of like to, but you know, before that I get the Xbox version so I can play that, and I kind of like to do like a comparison video maybe of the two. But I'm actually really looking forward to Risen 1, even on the Xbox, even with all of its like technical faults. But this game, really good. I really liked it. I really like exploring. I just like walking around and exploring, talking to people, doing quests. I really like that. The combat is really fun when you get into it. I actually really like the combat for some reason. I don't know why. Even though apparently people say that's the worst part of it, but I like it. It's really cool when you get like the counter ability. The animations are really good. It's kind of like I got a musket pretty late, like an hour before I beat the game. But that's the one, because I really like the melee combat. But it seems like muskets for the animals and like the creatures, and like the sword fighting for the humans. And so yeah. So I'm trying to think of anything else I can say. I mean, the game has some pretty frustrating points, but not like a bad. It's not like, oh my god, throw a controller like that. It's just, it's kind of frustrating at some points. It's kind of poorly designed. And you'll probably, but there's only like a couple then times, so it's not really that bad. There are a few bugs. There was a big game bug that happened, and thankfully I had a save. Otherwise, if I hadn't, I wouldn't have been able to beat the game, and I would have had to start the whole game over again. So that's a really bad game bug. Basically, there's a body, and I had to pick something off. Problem is, there was like a billion other enemies, so I ran away to like get my bearings. I came back, and the body had disappeared because I'd run away and gone out the area. So that's a pretty big bug. So yeah. Other than that, there isn't really that's the only bug I really encountered. Other than that, there's another mission that bugged me out, but it wasn't really. It's only like it's not a mission that's important to the story. So, but there are like other little glitches where enemies will float, and then like two enemies got like stuck in a wall, not stuck up a wall, but then I killed one of them, and then the other one got unglitched. So it's pretty good for, you know, it's only really one bug, but it's still a game-breaking bug. So be careful, have a backup save, just in case. Thankfully I had a backup save, because I normally never have a backup save, but luckily, literally, I made that backup save like 2 minutes before the game bug happened. So yeah. Unless there was another way to do it, I don't know, but if it hadn't been, I'd have been screwed. Because the body disappeared and I needed that item, otherwise the story wouldn't have progressed. So yeah, it's a really good game. It's not really like a traditional RPG. The combat isn't really RPG-ish. It really, leveling up doesn't really make you feel like you're progressing, like getting the abilities feel like you're progressing. But it's kind of weird because you're the same character in the first one. You've lost you've lost everything. So that's why I understand. It'd be kind of cool if you could, like, you know, bring your save over, but you can't, which is annoying. So really good game, I think. I like it a lot. The game, like I said, it's kind of, it's not rough around the edges. The graphics are pretty good for the Xbox. The X version, really, if you're like thinking, oh my god, I don't have a PC to run it, don't worry, this is fine. The Xbox version's fine in this one. It really isn't that much of a. The only thing is, like, the draw distance is bad, but the PC had that same problem at launch anyway, so a lot of people had to use it anyway. So, and the Xbox version doesn't have like all the like glitchy textures the PC version had at launch. I didn't do the other. I did one of the DLCs that came with the game, the Air Temple, and it took me like half an hour to beat. So it's really, I think that's like £8 on for the PC, which is kind of ridiculous. But the other one I didn't get to do, which is supposed to be like 6 hours long, but I might do it at some other point. Maybe I'll do it now, I don't know. Maybe I'll do it tomorrow. Because the game might, Risen 1 might come tomorrow, I'm not sure. Hopefully it comes tomorrow. But luckily I made a backup save so I can go back and do the DLC. But it's a really good game. I'd buy it. And I say, like, it's an RPG. It's not really an RPG. Well, it is an RPG, but it's not like crazily RPG. It's not really. It's not a traditional RPG at all. It's really. It didn't really feel. It did feel like an RPG. It's really hard to explain. It's just the combat really isn't nothing like an RPG. The combat side of things. And you basically, I had the same. I only really got to do 2 different clothings, but that doesn't really matter. I didn't really feel really like it mattered. That didn't really bother me at all for some reason, even though it normally does. It didn't. But there is lots of clothing to pick, like buy armor, lots of weapons to buy. So yeah, cool characters, really cool characters. I love the characters. And the lock picking is really cool once you understand it. I understood it like 12 hours in or something. Maybe was it 12 hours or 18 hours? It's pretty big diversity between those numbers, but but I really liked it a lot. And not once did I get bored, because I just liked it a lot. Like, I just like walking around. Just you can do this in this game. You walk around, and it's just nice to walk around in the game and talk to different people. Like the beginning is it's so weird. The beginning is like the game is so the same from the beginning to the end, but it isn't. It's really hard to explain. I'd say the first hour is kind of bad, but then like second, third hour. Like really the game starts to pick up around the 6-7 hours in. But it's still pretty good. It's bad, maybe the first hour isn't that great. But normally the first hour of any game isn't, for any RPG isn't that good. Because the problem is you're so used to, you've just played an RPG and you've just beat it and it's like crazy cool stuff you've just done at the end. And then you go to start a new one and it's boring at the beginning because it's really slow. So it's not like... But that's just how anything is. So yeah, that's my thoughts for Risen 2. Really good game. I'd buy it. I got it for £20. I live in England. £20. It was on half price. I'm pretty sure it was half price. My dad said it was £30 down to £20, but I swear it was £40. But it's definitely worth it. I enjoyed it a lot. It took me a long time to beat. I was so surprised at how long it... Because normally I beat games like that. But it might be the case because Borderlands 2 took me around the same time, but I beat that in like 2 days. But it was kind of like I had more time because it was I played it for, it was like the weekend, so I could play it more, but in this I couldn't. So that might be able to do with it. But maybe that's a different, like it's different. I think that's a different. It's not really like it's a first-person shooter / RPG, so you can beat it more quickly because you can play it for a longer period of time. A game like Borderlands 2. So yeah, maybe if I had the time I had to, like on the weekend, as Borderlands 2, I would have beaten it in 2 days, but I don't know. So yeah, that's my thoughts. Risen 2, really good. So yeah, signing off.